are your father's daughter. But
So you know, like Devin, like this morning, my dad called me on the number. And so then I need to go get a new child because of this, so he don't have this message. You know, so and Devin about it. Nobody just know the phone when you go. I can't say that. And Devin knows how much. I think we have to do something.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. Apologies for the late start. Well, we're kind of on time today, actually. Jerome, you mind leading us in prayer?
Another day we have blessed us to again, Father. Thank you for this gathering again, Father. And Father, open our hearts and minds to the truth, dear Father. God, when we in the right direction, you want us to go, dear Father. Protect our homes as we're while we're living, Father. Protect our loved ones, God. In the right direction. You can bless us with everything I pray.
So, first, giving honor to the Most High and His beloved Son Mashiach. Grateful to be here today. I don't have a lot of scripts today. Scripts will come out, but they're not necessarily in the lesson. We're going to go as the Spirit leads. First question I got for y'all, though. Where's Joe Biden? He sleep or something, right? Because it's crazy. We've never seen this in our lifetime to where a president-elect that's still a month away from actually assuming power is already running the government. Right. Shot caller, right? But you don't see Biden, you don't see Kamala, you don't see none of them no more. It's almost like they don't exist. It's almost like when you're watching a TV show and then like these supporting actors that come in for a seasonal time to fulfill a role, and the next thing you know, the show just goes on like they were never there. So it's just some strange things. What's up? Yeah. What? Come on, YouTube. Hold on. Wait a minute. No, everything's hooked up. It should be. I'll try this again. Yeah. Try this again. What about now? That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. It's still. Okay, so I'm gonna try. I don't know why I would do that, but I'm gonna go here. Okay. So again, President Biden is gone. It's almost done. Okay, so he's pretty much gone. So do y'all remember, because I've talked about it before, we did different lessons on it, what Trump was, the main thing he was trying to do before he left office last time? Do y'all remember? Well, the main thing he was trying to push was the Abraham Accords, right? And that was bringing all the Abrahamic faiths together to create one. So that's Islam, that's Christianity and Judaism, or whatever you want to call it. But they're trying to bring all of the religions under a banner. So it's basically, it's going to be like Catholicism, because that means universal, right? All over again, right? So that was one of the main things that he was trying to push when he left. When he left office, you didn't hear nothing about that anymore. It's almost like he died. But now Trump comes back and the world is like, oh, Trump, he's the one that has all the answers to all of the problems. They're creating him to be like, almost like a false Mashiach. And we know we always have to take heed to ourselves. Because I told you, I don't have hardly any scripts today. But go ahead. fair use systems for educational training purposes. Thank you, because now we're about to start watching a video. We're going to watch a few minutes of it. So, again, Trump is not in office, but he's already at work. So we're going to watch this quick. Well, the video is long. We're going to watch like 7 or 8 minutes of it, man. You ready? Good? Okay. It should be through. That's apologies. That's weird. Hold on, cause that Bluetooth speakers on.
No, I'm saying you gotta turn the volume on the computer.
Yeah, but I've already set it up to where I don't have to do that when it comes to the Bluetooth. That's what's weird. Okay, where did it go? Huh. Because the volume on my computer is pretty much already turned up. Man, that's crazy.
Not loud, you wanna do
No, the Bluetooth turns up a lot louder, man. Go back out. Okay. Enemy, the enemy. Yeah, why my colors calling me now on the Saturday? What's about? That's crazy. That's wild.
volume on the video or something?
Thank you very much. So, it's an honor to be with you. We'll discuss a couple of points. We'll take some questions
It
later.
does. It don't be doing that. Like that's weird. This one I don't have to do all that too. Go back to Bluetooth. Couldn't connect to that one. Let's try this one. Alright, let's try this again. Dang.
Thank you very much. So, it's an honor to be with you. We'll discuss a couple of points. We'll take some questions later if you'd like. I'm sure you might have one or two. I'd be shocked if you did. I'd be very impressed. But I'm honored to welcome one of the most accomplished business leaders of our time, the founder and CEO of SoftBank, everybody knows. Masa, Yoshi's son. Masa runs one of the largest companies in Japan and among the most successful investment and technology companies anywhere in the world, one of the most successful investors in the world. And we just concluded a very productive meeting, and today I'm thrilled to announce that SoftBank will be investing $100 billion in America, creating 100,000 American jobs at a minimum.
He ain't even stepped into office yet.
It was very optimistic about our country since the election. And many other people are also coming in with tremendous amounts of money. And you probably noticed that the poll was just taken. It's businesses, literally in 39 years, there's been nothing like it. It's been the biggest increase. Small business owners gave it a 41% jump. It's the biggest jump that we've had in 39 years. And nobody's ever seen it like it. And it's just great. We're very optimistic. This historic investment is a monumental demonstration of confidence in America's future, and It will help ensure that artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, and other industries of tomorrow are built, created, and grown right here in the USA. One of the beautiful things about Masa is he's very much involved with emerging technology, probably knows it maybe better than almost anybody. So it's a great honor, and some of you remember after the 2016 election, also SoftBank committed to invest $50 billion in our country, and they did. And a very pleased to say that they kept that promise in every way, shape, or form, and now they're looking to do 100, and I looked at their books, I do have the possibility of doing one. I asked them to do 100 more, but first I'm going to ask them to speak, and just to say a few words, Master, please.
Now listen to what he says about Trump.
Thank you so much. I'm very, very excited. I would really like to celebrate the great victory of President Trump. Now, my confidence to the economy of the United States has tremendously increased with his victory. So because of that, I'm now excited to commit this $100 billion and 100,000 jobs in the United States. This is double of last time, as President Trump said. So I said, well, double down yesterday. I'm going to have to double down. $100 billion and 100,000 jobs. This is, my confidence better because that has doubled up. So I am truly excited to make this happen. And of course, business is important, technology is important. But one more thing I'm really hoping is that this President Trump will make the world, bring the world to peace again. That's my additional hope.
Did y'all hear that? They are setting this man up to be some type of savior for that, that 7-year peace treaty, right? We know that they're not the real people because we the people. Again, this is very used for educational and training purposes. But this is why they're doubling down on Trump so they can forward their plans for the world. So the first time Trump runs, he invests $50 billion. This time, $100 billion. Yeah, well, like for real, 100,000 jobs. Like you said, where's the money going to? Why is the debt ceiling always growing? Right? So I was gonna keep going, but I think that's good enough for that video. But I just want y'all to see the mindset of these people that are in power. Y'all can even go ahead and win again. That are already in power, and this is the reason why Biden had to go and Trump had to come back. Biden served his purpose. Biden had to be the one so they can implement the things that should not be in your body. And Trump is the one that's supposed to fully bring stuff into fruition. So this is not the time to fall asleep or to fall back to sleep to some of the things that the Most High has awakened you from. Because the world they're falling for this madness. Like, he's not even in office yet. Like, huh? And he's running stuff already. Again, where's Biden? Where's Kamala? Where's anybody? Right? It's already Trump advanced, right? So again, so this is what these investors, these people with deep pockets is what, okay, you're going to push forward this agenda. So when you start hearing more and more about the Abraham Accords, they'll say, y'all won't warn, because I'm telling y'all, when Trump comes back, and then you'll hear about his son-in-law, Jared Kushner again, you already see Elon Musk is already working hand in hand with Trump. That was the whole point about this almost shutdown we just had. Because Elon didn't want to go with the plan that was on board, so Trump and Vance made them switch some stuff up. So, political affiliations really have got to die. Because people are so tied to these things like, man, wicked is wicked. The rich are going to keep staying rich. Do what they have to do to stay rich. They're going to keep us in the same level of subjection. So again, do not fall asleep in this point in time. So we're going to go past that. Because that video is like an hour. Something else that's going on is what? Mystery drones.
One of them was literally over Camp Pendleton.
One,
Right?
California?
Two of them were literally right over Camp Pendleton, the biggest military base
Yep.
that we know of
Mhm.
in all of America,
Mhm.
and it was like, nah, no problem.
Right. Now,
What?
so these drones, right? A lot of people have drones now. They're pretty easy to get. As long as you got the paper, you can get them now. But with all these drones that's coming on, there's been a lot of questions that's been coming out, right? So we're just gonna read this article, man, if you don't mind. Now, this article is from Fox Local. Mystery drones over the United States prompt calls for answers from government / new legislation. Go ahead.
The brief. Lawmakers and law enforcement are calling on the government to provide more answers about drones being spotted over the United States. The government has said that they are looking into the drones and that they are no threat. But some feel that this isn't good enough. It isn't good enough answer. Isn't good enough answer. Some people, such as Representative Debbie
Dingle.
Dingle and Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard, won't legislation pass that allows police to engage with these drones, while others, including Senator Rand Paul, are against such legislation, citing privacy concerns.
Yeah, piracy, not privacy. Privacy, not piracy. You know, yeah, it was close. It was close. So, just like you were saying, like all these drones going on, they're just like, no big deal. What are they so afraid of? Like, why won't they, release more information? I know the FAA in some locations they've actually banned, drones from flying.
I was just about to say, not technically.
You good?
I have a friend, and we were shooting a music video over the summer, and I asked him how high can your drone go. He said, I can only go like 20 or 30 feet with this drone because if I go any higher, I have to notify every airport within between Muskogee, Tulsa, and whatever is in that area.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, really? He said, if I don't, they'll pick it up, and
Yeah, it's gone.
so whatever happens after that, what happens after that.
Right.
Now, I thought it was crazy, but seeing more stuff come down the pipe after that, I was like, word.
Word. So these drones, keep going, man. It's gonna be a quick one.
Drones and the coming wars. The federal government has said that recent drone sightings in parts of the United States are not a threat, but some aren't so sure about that and are pushing the government to do more. The ambiguous answer that we all are getting in all our areas is not satisfactory. Congresswoman Debbie Dingle said, we need the vigorous regulations to keep us safe.
And do y'all agree with that? I mean, we definitely, because there's too many sightings going on. You couple them with orbs and all that other type of stuff, y'all gotta give us more than just, nah, they're good, you're good. Just trying to push stuff under the rug.
And they got delivery services, drone delivery services.
That's true, Amazon does that too.
There's probably going to allow those things to happen, so these things, it's just not, everybody has drones, not everybody literally.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're trying to do.
Some of my neighbors have one, yeah.
Though many drones are not being used for nefarious purposes, some are, nefarious, right?
Yeah.
Some are, and they're concerning both lawmakers and law enforcement. Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard noted how drones can be dangerous near airports and power infrastructure, especially if they have been weaponized.
Mm.
I was watching something, I think it was the show, but they had a drone, dude took it and weaponized it. It was a dog.
It was a dog.
Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. It is a threat. It is a lost hobbyist that doesn't understand the rules. It is a foreign adversary. Has it been weaponized, he said? None of these have answers other than saying, we don't think it's a problem. Nothing to see here. Bashar talked about how drones can pose dangers at events, adding that drones above the Woodward dream crews were being flown higher than the line. Something that puts aircraft like sheriff's officers, helicopters in danger.
So certain people are flying them too high. Go ahead, hey Brandon, you go ahead and start reading for a little bit. Thank you. And we go.
He also referenced how drones have been used to drop contraband in prisons. Saw that.
according to Bashar, in his office, if his office gets a call about a drone that maybe it's no good, a deputy will be sent out to evaluate the situation. Often they can determine if they are drones and follow them, but they don't have the authority to act if the drone is being used criminally. All we can do then is watch, he said. He went on to question why the government hadn't acted to determine the threat or lack of threat to the drone.
So, if there's criminal activity going on, they can't even do nothing. They can just have to just watch it, just like, oh,
Yeah.
here's another one. That makes a lot of
That
sense.
sounds like a job I had before. I can't really start with what. All we can do is, Walmart. If somebody steals something, all you can do is watch them. You can't chase them. You can't do that.
Yeah. I'm gonna read this next slide. Okay. Why wouldn't they have sent advanced detection equipment out sooner rather than later? Bouchard said. Dingle said he hopes that if the recent drone sightings did pose a threat, the government would be forthcoming. However, she feels more answers are needed. Dingle backs proposed legislation that would allow law enforcement agencies across the country to track and interact with drones that are breaking the law. I think we need more answers. They need to be more regulated. And we need to empower local law enforcement to know that those drones are, what they are, whether we are safe and able to regulate them more, she said. Because again, with all these sightings, weaponization, there's no telling what could be going on. Go ahead.
So I saw a drone, I want to say it was a block over from where I live. And dude was flying, doing the wheel, and I looked, down the street from me, and I see him, he had his little, little walk or whatever, and then his drone just dropped.
I don't know.
So I'm like, think about it. If they're flying high,
Mm-hmm.
and they're flying above ship, and it just drops. It's metal in the ship. I'm not saying that it can cause too much damage, but all it takes is the right situation, the wrong thing in the right situation to cause undue damage. I mean, it was a small little piece of ice took down a real big boat. That one day back in 1912, I'm just saying, call me crazy, but
Near, far, wherever you are, that thing went down. That ship had sailed. I mean, it was allegedly impossible to make it sink, right? So, then as we keep going, I'm just going to get past this article. Bouchard echoes the need for more law enforcement intervention when it comes to drones, saying that his office wants access to technology that would allow drones to be jammed if they are used criminally. I agree. Congress has to give FAA the ability to give us the ability to have interdiction capability. That's all that's standing in the way, he said. Years ago, I wanted this technology, and I had a purchase order to buy it, and the federal government intervened and pushed back on it. Not only do they not give us the authority, they actively prevent us from being able to protect our community. That's a problem.
But if they give them that ability, if they do give them that ability, then we always know what people like that are going to do. They're going to upset. So,
Yeah, of course.
hypothetical situation, I buy my son a drone.
Mhm.
It flies 10 feet in the air.
Mhm.
If they give people like that the opportunity, they're going to say, no, we can't have that toy. Regardless of whether it's a toy or not, he can put lasers on it,
Yeah.
and then, they're going to upset.
Extreme.
So, it's a catch-22.
It is to an extent, but when you can see the writing on the wall and know that America's time is really short, you got to take precautions. Now, the Most High, He's got us. That's why we've been going over redeeming the bloodline, which next lesson we'll be back into it, depending on how far we get on this. But our enemies are at the door, coming in through the border. Heck, they're actually giving potentially like billions of dollars to the government for Most High knows what, because providing all these jobs for what? Like, what is he going to get in the back end? Like, they never disclose truly what's going on. Go ahead.
I'm full of questions today. I don't know why. But we watched a slide earlier on SoftBank. So I remember, and if I dig through all my stuff, I'm pretty sure I still have the shirt somewhere laying around. It says, "I survived lockdown 08."
Man.
So in Okinawa, they would lock the bases down randomly to basically show the Japanese that if without us, you're screwed. So, long story short, right now, Marine Corps Air Station Continuum is moving out. Covina is moving out. All of the bases are moving out and moving out to Guam. All of the Marines are leaving to go to Guam. If in 2008, when we shut down for 90 days, they cried in 3 weeks, let them go, let them out, so we can basically make money. Why all of a sudden, how is that? I guess my question would be is, why are they moving people off to Guam, which ain't that far away? Why are they moving people off to Guam? What's up with the big move? And then the power movement, soften. How does that?
And it's really
it doesn't
interesting.
make sense.
It's almost like preparing for war, and just strategically putting pieces in places.
But Japan's not allowed to have military like you said.
That's why they're paying to have America do their bidding. If that makes sense. Because again, we just hear about him providing this money and all these jobs, but we don't know what he's getting out of it. Like, what did he get the first time? So you got to be thinking, like, with the end in mind, like, they know this place is crumbling down. Maybe it's going to expedite it. Maybe it's going to make it take a little bit longer. I don't know. But as always, we got to stay vigilant, right? So then it says, Senator Gary Peters, the lawmaker behind the legislation, said the changes that allow law enforcement to engage drones are important to safety, noting how the suspect who tried to assassinate President-elect Donald Trump over the summer used a drone to surveil the area around the rally before the attack. So, of course, they're going to bring that up. And again, there's no Biden, there's no Harris, there's no none of that. So we're already dealing with Trump. He's not president-elect anymore. He's already on his throne right now. President, right? We can all agree on that. And the question that came to mind is, like, why wouldn't they want it to be regulated? So I'm going to read this slide. Opposition to drone regulation. While some lawmakers are pushing for more to be done to address drones by giving more power to law enforcement, others say it's unnecessary surveillance. Senator Rand Paul again, who blocked the drone legislation, said that while he doesn't deny that drones pose dangers, he believes that President Joe Biden's administration needs to be open about what is happening. Where is Joe Biden? All this stuff's going on and he's just nowhere. Ain't answering no questions, nothing already, right? But you know what he is doing? He's pardoning all of his criminal buddies that was supposed to be going doing some fed time, including his son. And you know, all these presidential pardons, he goes, don't worry about it. Nothing's going to happen to y'all. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of y'all before I leave. Because he's deteriorating to the point where he really can't be answering questions. That was another reason why he wasn't the right man for this next 40 years. No, he was. You had to have a buffoon in there to pull that stuff. You had to. You had to. And people still love you. You're not black. If you don't vote for Joe, come up here, get a joint and get your joint, your shot, or whatever. You know, come get your shot, have a beer. And everybody trusts him. Everybody loved him. Everybody this and that. And I'm just like, man, I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. So, okay, he said that the proposed bill is to address threats when government officials, Homeland Security, and the FBI are saying there are no threats. Why don't we try to get to the truth of the matter and what exactly exists and what the threat is before we propose legislation, Paul said. Tell us what the problem is. Tell us the extent of the problem. So this article was written within this last week. So they've been trying to reach out to get these answers from Biden. That's why he's not saying nothing and disappeared. Right? And so now they want to focus it on with just, they finally passed a temporary resolution with the potential government shutdown. Right? But these are some serious questions that we have to answer. 1 Timothy 4, verses 1 and 2. Now the Spirit expressly, speaketh expressly, that in the latter times means what? end times, right? Times. Some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. So again, this is not the time to go into another doctrine. Beware of people that will take you away from Mashiach and make you just skip Mashiach and go straight to the Father by yourself. He is the mediator of the new covenant. Beware of these people. Excuse me, the renewed covenant, right? Because we are still those covenanted people. We've always dealt with Mashiach. Nothing has changed. When you go to the quote-unquote New Testament, beware of those people. Beware of people that will try to get you to go into witchcraft. Family members that want to get you into all these traditions that the Most High has awakened you to step away from. Beware of these people. Do not be deceived. Don't fall for these tricks. We know the time of year that we're in. It's the holiday season that Christmas spirit is on people, and it's one of the most wicked spirits is on people, period. Do not fall prey to that, because it's very seductive. And then the tricks and the devices of the enemy are going to get more seductive. They're going to get more tricky. That's why, like in our generation, they were so big and so focused on science fiction, sci-fi, making us to like fall in love with a TV show that we watched called Power Rangers, right? All these other like TV shows, you think, oh, there's no way all this stuff that could happen, right? Star Wars, all this stuff. They had to predictively program things so you will allow things that into your body that you should not take. So you can end up becoming like a Spider-Man or all these other superheroes that had to go through certain transformations and metamorphoses, right? This is not that time. I got one more quick video, and then we'll get into the part of this.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another door.
All right, that's loud, my bad. Stranger Things, right? Stranger Things, that was the intro to the Twilight Zone. Yeah, I know it's Twilight Zone, but this is Stranger Things. So we're getting back into this book, The Pentagon's Brain, right? And it's all about DARPA. And so this lesson is kind of subtitled Attack of the Drones. I told you I don't have a lot of scripts today. And so we're going to be reading a lot of this directly from the book, and then I paraphrase some of the stuff that was in there. But Attack of the Drones. So, bam. I'm going to read this first slide. Let me read this slide. It says, in May of 2013, President Barack Obama gave a long-anticipated speech at the National Defense University at Fort McNair in Washington, D.C., in which he said it was time to bring the war on terror to a close. This war, like all wars, must end. So when he says something like that, you think he's trying to bring it to an end. You know, no more bloodshed, no more nothing. He said, and quoted the 1795 warning by James Madison, who stated, no nation could preserve its freedom in the middle of a continual warfare. It was President Obama's first war speech of the second term. So if no country can maintain its freedom and continue warfare, what's going to happen to America? When have we not been in war? We keep going from war to war to war. Eventually, America's going to fall. We know that time is coming. Right? In the context of the history of the modern American war machine, the advanced science and technology of which is spearheaded by DARPA. If y'all don't remember about DARPA, this is where they create all the stuff that you see in movies and TV shows. They literally be creating that stuff, right? DARPA is the one that spearheads this. It says there was significance in the president's words and symmetry in the locale. It was here at Fort McNair that 55 years earlier, 22 defense scientists gathered to produce ARPA, study number 1, the first of thousands of secret and unclassified DARPA studies outlining which weapons would best serve the United States in coming wars. So they were like, just like, okay, in the next 10, 15 years we'll have these weapons, and these weapons will help us win this war. 30 years down the line we'll have these, and they've just been going. And where are they getting this information from? It's something I always just wonder about, like, how do y'all know that y'all will have this information, that y'all will have this technology? Where is that coming from? It's not just coming from man. They have to be getting it from another source. So I'm going to read this slide too. He says, he was doing no such thing, talking about Obama. Nor really did the president say he was. He merely said, I've insisted on strong oversight of all lethal action, meaning that White House and CIA lawyers would continue to be in the loop before individual terrorists were targeted for assassination by unmanned systems. What's an unmanned system? Right. Including American citizens living overseas. As Commander-in-Chief, the President had twice endorsed significant Department of Defense reports, Unmanned Systems Integrated Roadmap, fiscal year of 2011 through 2036, planning into the future, and Unmanned Systems Integrated Roadmap, fiscal year 2013 to 2038, which called for the amplification, not the curtailment, of the Pentagon's pursuit of robotic warfare. These two reports, roughly 300 pages in total, made clear that Pentagon drones were positioned to lead the way forward over the next 25 years of war. That's why they don't want to give us no information about it. Huh? Which movie? Yeah. And they're literally creating Terminator. I keep trying to tell people, like, the stuff that you see in movies, they're already working on that stuff. Huh? Yes. Yeah. Literally. Right? So, Ben, if you don't mind, read this slide. This one should be easier to read. No, because
DARPA's advanced weapon system of the future will involve an entire army of drones.
An entire army of what?
Drones.
That sounds like Star Wars, right? Attack of the Clones? The Clone Wars or something like that, right? Read that sentence again.
DARPA's advanced weapon system of the future will involve an entire army of drones.
Mm-hmm.
They will include unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and those unmanned ground systems, UGS, unmanned surface vehicles, USVs, unmanned
maritime. That means in the sea.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And unmanned aircraft systems. Weapons that reach from the depths of the ocean into outer space. Is that what last time he was on the Space Force?
Yeah, and he was the one to create the Space Force, right? Imagine that.
At present and in the future, the Pentagon drones will fly, swim, crawl, run, walk. Well, I said from but and swarm as they conduct missions around the globe. Some of these drones will be cyborg.
Will be what?
Cyborg.
What's a cyborg?
It's like half human, half
RoboCop. Cyborgs. Right? Keep
or
on.
what DARPA called
Biohybrids.
Which are part animal and part machine. They don't have it. And the technology, which has been building for decades and closer than the average citizen might think. So they birds, they have very close.
See, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Huh?
I didn't put everything in here, but we're going to talk definitely about the birds. Yeah. With Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's what I just said. So, what is Lafayette Square? No, it's right across from Washington, D.C. So, things about Lafayette Square. It's directly across the street from the White House. It was briefly used as a graveyard. It was also a racetrack. Slaves were sold there. In the War of 1812, it was used as a soldier encampment. It was used for protests, and in 2007, Bernard Crane saw something odd, really odd in 2007. So in 2007, it says, my daughter had asked me, talking about this Crane guy, to take her to the demonstration. So I did. Crane explains, I certainly wouldn't have been there on my own. I was half paying attention to what was going on stage and half looking around when I saw 3 incredibly large dragonflies flying overhead. This is done in 2007, says Crane. They moved in unison as if they were in lockstep. My first thought was, are those dragonflies? Nearby? Somebody shouted, "Oh my God, look at those." Many people looked up. Vanessa Alarcon, a college student, bless you, from New York, recalled her reaction, right? I'm like, what the bleep is that? They looked kind of like dragonflies or little helicopters. But she felt certain about the one thing, those are not insects, Alarcon said. Likewise, Bernard Crane surmised that the creatures were not hatched of this world. All three moved together, says Crane. They would move left to the left together, then they would move to the right together. It was bizarre. I had just returned from a 2-week vacation at a lake house in Maine, Crane says. I spent a lot of time lying on my back watching dragonflies. I'd become familiar with how they move, how they hover, how they generally fly alone. Dragonflies are not like carpenter ants. They don't do the same thing as the next dragonfly. Over. Certainly not at the same time. So he was saying these things back in 2007, like, yo, those can't be real. Right? But again, you talk to people like this, and they'll say, you're a conspiracy theorist, this is sci-fi, no, look up DARPA. And literally, DARPA will let you know their information. So Anwar al-Awlaki, right? So this guy was a former Muslim radical, former Al-Qaeda leader, former imam for a mosque between 2001 and 2002, became the first U.S. citizen to be assassinated by the United States government in a drone strike in the desert in Yemen. Right? Because they've been doing this, like, a lot of people conspiracy theorize that that's how Paul Walker died. It wasn't just a regular plane crash. He was driving and a drone came and shot it and blew the thing up. Right. Paul Walker. So these are just some of the signs, but let's see if more than just Crane and this Alarcon woman, let's see if anyone else saw anything. The Washington Post reported a handful of similar sightings of insect-shaped spy drones flying overhead at political events in Washington and New York. And the drone thing's happening in New Jersey. That's close to New York, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's next level.
Yeah. Some suspect the insect-like drones are high-technology surveillance tools, wrote Post reporter Rick Weiss. Others think they are whale dragonflies, an ancient order of insects that even biologists can see look about as robotic as a living creature can look. No federal agency would admit to having deployed insect-sized spy drones, but a number of U.S. government and private entities acknowledge they are trying. So they're saying that they don't have it, but they are trying to create it. So they won't fully admit it, like, yeah, we're trying to create it, though.
Yeah.
We're avidly working on it. Strange, man. Strange. Were you going to say something?
No, I was just thinking about how, like you said, they know what they got.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, I'm trying to do it, so it's like when they actually do it, it's like you know what they were trying to do. No, they already got it.
Yeah, literally.
They already on what they were trying to do.
So, what is a MAV?
Huh.
MAV.
A Marine Area Vehicle.
That was a good try, though.
Man, armor vehicle?
No. Anybody else?
A man and a vehicle.
Man, read this slide.
By the time of the 2007 anti-war protest, DARPA had been actively developing insect-inspired drones.
So wait, by 2007, they were already working on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what year is this? This is 20. So this was 17 years ago. Okay. Let's see how far back this goes. Keep going.
Called micro air vehicle.
So what's a MAV?
Micro air vehicle.
Micro air vehicle. That's what those insectozoid drones are.
Oh, the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
That I've been hearing about.
Yeah.
We all been hearing about.
That we've been hearing about. They were working on this at least as early as 2007.
What was it?
Yes, it's good. I ain't heard about this.
Mosquitoes flying in the wintertime, like it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Rich had one of those.
Yeah.
Little trying to be.
So did.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about this.
Oh, yeah.
It's another one. For at least 14 years.
Wait. So read that whole sentence again.
By the time of 2007, anti-war protests, DARPA had been actively developing insect-inspired drones called micro-air vehicles for at least 14 years.
So that means that was actually, so 14 years before that is what?
96. No.
Lord, goodness.
94.
Wow.
But
All right, we're just gonna keep going. Just keep reading. We're gonna pray for him.
the first DARPA micro-air vehicle, what's the word, feasibility?
Mm-hmm.
Study was conducted in 1993.
So 14 years from 2007 is 93. All right, we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, he said 4. He said 94. He stopped. By the RAND Corporation.
Rand.
RAND. But that's the same RAND.
No, not Rand Paul. Now he may own that company. We just don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's not the same. I'm not.
False. Billionaire company in Marvel that creates tech outside of Tony Stark is Rand Company.
No way.
Freaking Billy Rand or Bobby Rand, he's the Iron Fist. His father company.
Oh, I think he actually might be
Danny
right.
Rand. Danny Rand's company. Danny Rand's family's company builds stuff like that.
Is that the one where they got a tool because his dad stole his dad's stuff with the whips?
I don't know.
No, that's a lie. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Ironic that that company is named Rand. When Danny Rand, when the Iron Fist was written in the 60s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
60s, the first review of the Iron
And
Fist
so,
was in the 60s.
and so what you're catching on to is the trick that they do. The stuff that they're really doing, they create comic books. And people worship all these comic book characters. We don't know they're literally doing this stuff. Like these people, like they pulled it from a real person and they're doing some wicked stuff. Like why would you want to mess with insects and animals like that?
Yeah, that's good.
And they always put it in movies.
But I want that
They put it right in
vibranium.
front of our face.
You want the
I
vibranium?
want that vibranium Superman.
What kind of flavor?
Yeah. Ant-Man. What did he shoot?
Out there saying like Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy had a watch that he was talking about.
Oh, that's right.
I've been calling you that.
Just like the Power Rangers had the watch did the same thing.
You should do that. I've been saying that for years. Like as a child, I felt that like that's why I guess I was never really scared of movies because this is literally telling me what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like I've always felt like the truth is being put into the movie.
Mm-hmm. But people be too asleep to really pay attention to it.
Insect-sized flying and crawling systems should help give the United States a significant military advantage in the coming years. The Rand authors wrote, shortly thereafter, DARPA began soliciting scientists and awarding grants under the Tactical Technology Office.
So if they started actually working on this stuff in 93, that's 31 years ago. So they've got to be getting pretty close to perfecting these type of technologies, right?
So it says so the Rand authors wrote this, but then DARPA started.
Yeah, so you see right here, you see, I don't know if you see where my arrow is on the screen. Is it showing?
No,
Oh, don't show. You see where it says insect size? Because that's a direct quote.
gotcha.
Yeah, and then, yeah. So that was a direct quote. So then, I'm going to read this next slide. DARPA's original insect drone prototype called Black Widow. That sounds like a superhero, don't it?
That was
Wow.
watch the first Ant-Man movie. It talks about this.
The what?
The first Ant-Man movie talks about this.
Oh, okay. The Ant-Man movie, gotcha. Was built by the Aero Environment, right? A defense contractor in Semi Valley, California. The 6-inch mini drone weighed 40 grams and had wings fashioned from plastic model airplane propellers, cut and sanded over for better lift. For years, scientists with Aero Environment struggled to get Black Widow to fly with a payload. And by March 1999, with the help from MIT's Lincoln Laboratory, DARPA finally had its first generation micro air vehicle able to fly reconnaissance missions. So that was in 99, 25 years ago. Powered by 2 lithium batteries, this 56-gram variant of Black Widow carried a black and white micro video camera, had excellent maneuverability, and can even hover or loiter for up to 22 minutes before returning to its base. Black widow cannot be heard above ambient noise at 100 feet, reported scientists in the field, and unless you're specifically looking for it, you can't see it. Even birds were fooled. It looks more like a bird. It looks more like a bird than an airplane, scientists wrote. We have seen sparrows and seagulls flocking around the MAV several times. So that's how sophisticated this technology is getting, to where animals can't even tell the difference in it no more. And like, unless you know something's there, you're not gonna find it, like, man, because we can't hear it. And it's 56 grams. How much? That's barely like a tenth of a pound. It don't weigh nothing. But people be thinking, see, there's been so many years that people have been called conspiracy theorists, and people have said people's crazy because, man, the government, man, they have this, man. I'm telling you, they really do have this stuff, though.
The only thing difference between truth and conspiracy is time.
Mm-hmm.
People need time to catch up.
Mm-hmm. So then, because I said I'm trying to make this quick, we'll keep going. DARPA was enthusiastic, right? Remember, this was March of '99. The Black Widow MAV program has been quite successful in proving that a 6-inch aircraft is not only feasible, but that it can perform useful missions that were previously deemed impossible. Read an after-action report. Then came the more important idea. A Rand Paul analyst named Benjamin Lambeth, here we go, concluded that many drones like the Black Widow had enormous potential, not just in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, but ultimately as a means of assassination.
Oh, wow.
So now they're trying to figure out how to get it to the level of assassinating people.
You know, easy to use the name Spider.
Yeah, literally. Oh, look, I'm going to be Spider-Man. No, you're not. Nighty night. Nighty night. Many drones disguised as insects, Lambeth wrote, could one day be outfitted with micro-explosive bombs and able to kill moving targets with just grams of explosives. So this is already what they're thinking about 25 years ago. Killing people. Taking people off the set. Huh? Telling you, bro. They've always had a more sinister agenda because, oh, we can help humanity in this and that. Like, no, that ain't the real reason why you're doing it. Because you want to control everything. So y'all remember we were talking about monitoring spirits. And how, like, when you're born, you have monitoring spirits assigned to you.
Right.
Well, now with this type of technology, they want to be your God, as we all know. So these things have become your monitoring spirits. They can surveil you at every point in your day. You would have no idea about what's going on. Because remember, the Hasatan that fell from the Shamayim, he wants to sit in the sides of the north. That's really your body, right? That's really, they want to control your mind. And they want to know what you're doing. So you cut your TVs off, you got everything else unplugged. Oh, yeah, I'm not getting spied on. They could have something in your doggone house. Exactly. Perfect. Uh-huh. He's not. He's just awake.
Talked to a cop at Casey's from my house, right? Talked to a cop, and I was talking about, things at the ship or whatever, track. He's like, yeah. We just caught a guy who stole the TV from Walmart. I said, oh yeah? He was like, yeah. Wait for me to get home, turn it on. Turn it on, then signal. When he picked it up, picked up and the TV up. The TV back to Walmart, took it in jail. I said, that's simple. He was like,
Note to self, if I steal a TV, go to man's house.
anything and
Huh?
everything.
So what? Yeah. I'm definitely coming out.
Anything and everything out now is monitored and shit. We were talking about, conspiracy theories, whatever. Very all like that. About people being looked at through their TVs.
Yeah.
Somebody was in there like, man, you watching.
Yep.
Somebody saying like, you're not. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, you can be.
Through everything.
You that's 100%. Oh yeah, yeah. Like facts. They can turn your camera, they can turn your phone, anything that's a camera, they can turn it into
On your TV
surveillance.
monitor, apparently, somewhere in your TV, there's a camera.
Yeah.
There's somebody who do that.
This guy.
Man, we got cameras on us all the time, our phone.
Yeah.
Literally.
But we don't know what else they do, so it's like, it's, you ain't grinding the most high right now, dude. I mean,
Look,
And then,
It could not get noticed that when you talk about something with your friend,
Yeah.
your phone will pick it up.
Mhm.
I sent her a thing, she sent me one, where your phone is constantly listening to you. And when you speak, the phone, you want to, I was just talking about it. That's it. She tried turning off all the settings,
Yeah.
but none of the apps will work.
Nothing
when she
will work.
turned them off.
That's like Devin, me and Devin got the conversation.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's something good.
And it picked up on his phone, but I was saying to him, and I was just like,
on Instagram,
oh,
like,
Mom.
so it's really crazy because like last year I want to say, like right before I completely got off social media, maybe it was the year before, I don't remember. But there was a video where somebody had figured out how you can, I guess you could say, stop them from doing that. But then your phone still forces you to update.
Yeah.
And now it's just like it don't work. If I start talking about stuff again, because I did, I went all through the process, everything was fine. I start talking about YouTube. Oh yeah, okay, Amazon. Yeah, this is what you were talking about, right? Like,
Because by the way,
Bro.
your phone has started working at that time. You remember, like, you had like 2 phones?
mhm. I got two phones. Huh?
You had to change your number and all that.
I didn't change my number.
You have to go there.
I do have 2 phones. I didn't change my number. The number's still the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just ain't got the second one. What?
Like you said, I didn't get the second.
We had to try like that.
Yeah, getting tried up. So then, but going back to this, because yeah, we'll continue this on there, Brad. So I don't want to go too far. What just happened? What your phone just do? Oh wow, that's crazy. So now the 3 categories of DARPA's research, right? They're also known as thrusts, and they are inspired specifically by the animal kingdom. Biosystems. Biosystems involves the use of living, breathing insects or animals trained for military use. So like, I think, what was it in Nam, they would train dogs to hunt the Viet Congs, right? And so they'll just train certain animals to do certain things, right? Those are bio systems. Now, biometrics biometrics research is a field closely related to bionics. In DARPA's biometrics programs, scientists build mechanical systems to imitate creatures from the natural world. DARPA designed biometric drones like the Black Widow MAV, including ones that appear to be hummingbirds, we were talking about birds earlier, bats, beetles, and flies. Because, like, didn't they say that corona came from a rat or a bat?
Okay, yeah.
What if that was actually one of DARPA's technology? Huh? That's what I'm saying. What if it was just created technology?
He was in that country for a long time.
I'm saying you can't believe everything that they be saying. So I'm gonna read that again. It says, like the Black Widow MAV, including ones that appear to be hummingbirds, bats, beetles, and flies. If DARPA has dragonfly drones, they will fall under the rubric of biometrics. Biometric drones have been used by the intelligence community since at least 1972. That's a long time ago. That's over what? That's what, 50 years ago? 52? Come on.
Alright, my bad. Alright, so, they started creating and messing with electricity, creating lightning in the fifties. Messing with lightning in the fifties. They can mess with lightning in the fifties. Imagine what they can do now with a bug.
Yeah.
That's like when people go back to conspiracy theory. You take conspiracy theory, go back to that, messing with lightning. Just messing with lightning.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, like, well, what else can they manipulate? But, so, this technology, like dragonflies or these insects, they've been messing with since at least 1972. And this stuff is nothing new to them. They've been doing this for a long time. It says, when the CIA built a prototype dragonfly drone, it called it Insectohopter, right, back in 72. A miniature engine powered the drone's wings to move up and down. Insectohopter ran on a thimble full of gas, so it didn't run on much gas. But again, in 72, they already had dragonflies that were drones. 1972. That's why I'm trying to. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, I was like,
Yeah, like, why are you thinking all them Bond movies? He has all this sophisticated stuff, and I'm like, yo, they got stuff more sophisticated than that. They're probably 20 years ahead of that now. They're just putting it in a movie for us. Because we know the cell phones are a lot older than what they originally told us also. Push-start vehicles, all of that, right? So then, right, the last one is biohybrids. And so I'm going to stop at a certain point. I'm going to stop probably in about 3 minutes. And then if y'all are here, we'll do a mid-rush. And then we'll try to finish this and get back to redeeming the bloodline. Biohybrids. Biohybrids tread on entirely new ground. DARPA's micro air vehicle programs are built on decades of aviation technology, aerospace engineering, computer science, and nanotechnology, which is the science of making things small. What's nanotechnology? Making things small. Then, at the turn of the 21st century, a new field called nanobiology or nanobiotechnology came into being. It sounds like Dog on the Flash. Into being. Once regulated to the pages of science fiction, this burgeoning new discipline allows scientists to couple biological systems with machines, terminators, right, with machines. In 1999, DARPA awarded grants for biohybrid companies, 25 years ago. The stated goal was to create cyborgs, part living creatures, part living machines. So the whole point in them doing that was because they wanted us to merge with machines. Does the Most High want us to merge with machines? Or when he created us and everything else, he did not say it was good. He said it was perfect. Right? Go ahead. And he's hand in hand with Trump right now. Like, if y'all would have saw how they was debating and going back and forth about this shutdown, and so now we have an unelected president. I was like, what are you talking about? Elon Musk running things because he says one thing, and next thing you know, all the Republicans and Trump and everything wants to change the agreement, this and that. I couldn't put that in there because they was debating for like hours. Hours. It was ridiculous. Huh? He's probably going to. He's going to have to. It's really going to be interesting. So this is going to be the last slide because, again, I want to be able to get to the stuff that would remind you of Beast Wars or Transformers, because they're working on that stuff too. Like, so we're not going to cover stuff. This is going to be the last slide. And then, like I said, mid-rest, even if I got to record it, I'll make sure I got it uploaded since I have extended time on. DARPA's biohybrid programs remained shrouded in mystery. Biohybrid military applications are largely classified, but a few prototype programs have been unveiled. As nanobiotechnology advanced in the early years of the 21st century, tiny machines could realistically be wired into animals' brains, bodies, and wings. Starting in 2002, DARPA began periodically releasing incremental information into the public domain because they'd already been experimenting on it. So, again, now you mess with something's brain. That year, news of an early prototype emerged from a DARPA-funded laboratory at the State University of New York's Downstate Medical Center in Brooklyn. Led by researcher Sanjeev Talwar, scientists implanted electrodes in the medial forebrain bundle of a rat's brain, a region that senses reward. Wires the size of a human hair connected the electrodes to a microprocessor sewn onto the rat's back, like a backpack, from a laptop 500 meters away, a third of a mile away. Talwar and his team of scientists sent electronic impulses or pulses to the rat's medial forebrain after using Pavlovian techniques to train the rat to respond to stimuli. DARPA scientists were able to control the rat, steering it left, right, and forward through a maze via brain stimulation. If you don't think they're going to eventually try to bring that to humans, you're crazy. Because if you're putting all that stuff in there and then you're shocking them, you're completely taking their will away, like, okay, I'm going this way, okay. Like, you become my God, you become my master. I'm just a robot now. on autopilot. You have the remote. You control me. The Kingsman, right? So again, we're gonna stop here because I know people got to go. And Midwest, we're gonna keep going with this. Did that make sense? I know I didn't have a lot of scripts for y'all. Apologies for that, but this is about information that we should all just be aware of, right?
That's why I like it so much.
Bam, will you pray us out?
Heavenly Father, I would say thank you for everything that you've done and doing what you're going to do. We want to say thank you for this information that you have set forth. Let us take heed. Let us do the thing pleasing unto you, Heavenly Father. Heavenly Father, we just ask that in these times and times out, Heavenly Father, keep us forever in your care. Keep your angels of protection, your hedge of protection around us, your angels to watch over us, and guide us, lead us, strengthen us, and deliver us. We thank you for salvation in your daughter's son, Yeshua, man. We pray. Forgive us for all our sins. Amen.
Amen. So, we are Yehuda. This is YAH'S Assembly. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like and share our content. And as always, until next time, Shalom, tribe. They get angry.